Hey guys, Brian delivers you the goods here. I'm returning to you tonight or early this evening for a Islander Grammy nominated album review. So this album came out on June 28th, but I'm checking it out now, and sorry I'm petting my sister's cat right here, or soon to be my cat in the next month or so, but Titan basically. So pretty much I'm going to discuss what I listened to for the 11 songs off this 42 and a half minute record and let you know my thoughts on this album overall as a whole in its entirety. So let's dive into this album review. Now, I think the lead singer's name is Mikey, the screamer vocalist, and I think there's a backing vocalist doing some background vocals and screams from time to time. But it starts with which is a great opening track, by the way. I really enjoyed this track. The vocals from Mikey sound really amazing in this track. Execution wise, this track flowed very well, and instrumentally, it did very well. So, this is a 5 out of 5. We're All Too Young to Die, pretty catchy for sure. It is a favorite of mine, and I'd give it a 5 out of 5. I do enjoy this track. It does go to the chorus and rely on it a bit too much, but it's still good in its own way. It's underrated of a track. Ritual of Death is a banger of a track. I really like this one for sure. This is one of my favorite songs too, as well. There's a lot of great tracks from this record, so this is gonna get a really good score for sure. So, Ritual of Death is getting a 5 out of 5. The screams are great, the breakdowns are great, and also just how it's flowing this track. It's executing very well. 5 out of 5. What a Time to Be Alive is a great track. Very catchy chorus for sure. It does drag for a bit, but in a good way. It makes it flow very well with this track, and I do like the catchy chorus for sure. And the verses are pretty strong too, so 5 out of 5. Dark Ride featuring Christian Lindskog. I think this was a pretty strong track too. This is another great song that I enjoyed. So this is a 5 out of 5. Even Christian Lindskog, Lineskog, if I'm pronouncing it right. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing it right or not. But still, it's a great track, and it's worth listening to. Show Me Where It Hurts is another strong track too. I'd give this a 5 out of 5 as well. I really enjoyed this track for how it sounded execution-wise. Mikey's screaming vocals and his regular vocals sound amazing in this track. This track works for how it goes. Weight of the World is another banger of a track. Really enjoyed this song. I had a blast listening to this one. So this is a 5 out of 5. Serpents and Daggers is another strong track too. It's track number 8 on the record. I gotta say, for the 4.5 minutes of this song, this song, it got very progressive and a lot of chunky breakdowns that really flowed execution-wise and structurally sounded great for its pacing, its progression with the heavy drum work and guitar work, and this track worked for how it sounded. 5 out of 5. Die Dreaming, More Rears, I think featuring More Rears Sonata, if I'm pronouncing it right. This is another strong track too. It goes into one of my favorite tracks, which is the 10th song on the record. So, I really did enjoy Die Dreaming. It's a great track. It is worth listening to, and it's a personal favorite too. Then we get to K-Fabe, or K-Fabe, if I'm pronouncing it right. I love this track. I love the progression at the opening of this track. The world don't stop for anyone. It can't feel your pain. This track was a banger for sure. And the breakdowns at the bridge part going to the end of the song is really catchy. The Better Get Out of My Face thing. It's like, damn, this track goes hard. So, this record has really impressed me, and in a good way. It's left a long-lasting impression on me that I personally enjoyed this record. So, 5 out of 5. Psalm of Eternia is the closing track to this record. It's a great closing track for sure. It closes out really good for 3 minutes and 5 seconds, but it is quite entertaining, and I love this track. So, 5 out of 5. Overall, production, mixing, and execution wise, do I find myself returning to this record by Islander? Fuck yes. It's that fucking strong of a record. It is probably going to be contender for album of the year. I don't know if it will be, but there's already some other albums that have already gotten 10 out of 10s this year. But it depends on which one I deem to be worthy for the album of the year by December of 2024 when I do that video. So, pretty much overall, I think Islander got really aggressive, very heavy with this record. This is a very heavy record. It is worth listening to and checking out, and I highly recommend you check out Grammy nominated because this could be Grammy nominated in the rock and metal scene because they did really good with this record. Metalcore wise, screaming wise, vocal wise, with the clean vocals sound really strong. This record is very authentic and very much a well-deserved listen. And if I were to give it its deserved score, it's going to get a perfect 10 out of 10. This is a great record. I had a blast listening to this record, and I see myself returning to it quite a lot. I never checked it out until just last night, and I was really impressed. And I checked it out again just recently to get a refresher of what I'd be reviewing. And you can color me impressed. I think Islander put out one of the best records of this year. And one of my personal favorites for sure. So, 10 out of 10 for Islander, Grammy nominated. I hope you guys enjoyed this album review this early evening, going into evening time. And with that being said, thanks for watching this album review tonight.